Okay, hopefully that aligned the sound between the video camera and my iPhone. I can't look at myself do this. Okay, we're gonna turn that around. Fuck, I need to relax. Hello, this is my microphone. It's my iPhone with a tabby sock wrapped around it. So hopefully it cuts out a little bit of the background noise. I'm not sure. I tried it out. I think it's alright. But if you hear any loud noise, that's my loud ass fan. And I could turn the fan off and do this video and the sound quality would probably be better. But I'm not turning off my fan. It's hot as fuck. And if I sweat even one drop in this room, my day is ruined. My week is ruined. So this is this is what we're working with. A fucking tabby sock on my iPhone. I hope you enjoy. I have wanted to be a YouTuber for as long as I can remember, and I've always been convinced that it's just something that's going to happen to me. Like one day I'm going to be famous and people are going to want to watch my videos, but I have never really taken the step to actually post a video, make a video, or consider what it would actually mean to be a YouTuber. But I have, like, in the past few years, probably a few times picked up a camera, recorded a video, and then just had the footage sitting on my laptop. And some of those videos will be unearthed probably in the future, and I'll watch them, and I'd probably think they're cringe and gross, but I would have a good laugh. And they probably would have made good YouTube videos. I'm not sure. But I know I still have a bunch of video files in the vault that one day maybe they'll come out. I'm not sure. But I have posted videos on YouTube before. I remember when I got my IGCSE O-levels results, I posted a video of me reacting to the results, and I got maybe like 2,000 views on the video. And I remember thinking, oh my God, like this is the start of something. And then I started posting maybe one or two other videos, and they got no views. So I think I gave up. But also one time when I posted that video of me reacting to my O-level results, someone commented some horribly racist thing on my video, something about my eyes and something about me being Chinese. I'm not sure. But I think because YouTube knew that I was a minor, they immediately took that comment down. And to this day, it haunts me that I can't remember what that comment said. Not because I'd be offended, but simply because I want to know. And I can't remember what it said. I think he was commenting about my Asianness or my eyes or something, which is so, like, it's so of its time and it's so fine. I wasn't impacted by it, I hope. Maybe the fact that I still think about it to this day is a sign that I'm not over it. But I'm filming this on a Sony video camera from the early 2000s maybe, that my dad bought because he wanted to start like filming more videos around the house, like family videos. But that never happened because I'm from an unhappy home and there were no happy memories to be captured on this camera. I don't think this camera has seen a happy memory once in its life. But when video cameras started to become like popular again, this, I swear, I'm looking at it right now, it's the exact camera that like Emma Chamberlain had to like film videos or B-roll for her YouTube videos. So I've always had it. I've just never really used it, and I've never used it to capture anything happy. So I guess I'm also at fault, because I just never, this has been in my possession for years and I've never even picked it up to film anything. But today that changes. Today my career as a YouTuber takes off, and I'm going to be invited into a content house because those obviously still exist. And I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be famous, and that's obviously why I'm doing this, because I think I'll be rich and famous. And that's all I desire in life. No, it's not all that I desire. I desire to be happy and fulfilled and love. I desire to love other people, and I desire to feel love from other people. But I'm also realizing these days that I am super motivated by money. And that's not a hot take. I feel like most people are super money oriented, and I definitely am. But I'm just excited to make money. I think I'm excited by the prospect of money because I've been a student. I'm 23, but I've been in school and in uni for the past, I don't know, however many years of my life. So now I'm just excited by the prospect of earning my own money and having my own money to spend and being fully in control of where that money goes. In fact, I had a job interview earlier this week. It's a Sunday. I don't know what date it is. It's June 2024. But I had a job interview earlier this week on Wednesday, and it was an online interview. And I think it went well. I mean, I really want the job. But it's going to be okay if I don't get it. But I really, really do want the job. And to kind of hype myself up to continue applying for jobs, because I don't know if I'm going to get this one job interview role. Like, I've only had like 2 job role interviews. I don't know if I'm going to get this one specific job, so I need to keep applying to jobs. And in order to get myself excited about doing that, I created a 30-page long Google document where I started putting links to office clothes from Essence and Farfetch, and links for shoes and accessories that I would wear to the office. I have a 30-page document filled with the name of the garment, a link to the garment, a picture of the garment, and the price in Sing dollars. So I think I've taken 3-4 days. I think that's all I've done in the last week since my interview, is just put pieces of clothing into from Farfetch and Essence into a Google Doc. And I'm so convinced that when I get this entry-level job that starts in September, I'm going to have enough disposable income to just clear out my entire Essence cart. So that's the goal, and that's really been motivating me. The idea that I could just buy myself some new clothes, that's been really motivating. Also, what's really motivating is the idea of moving out. Most people don't move out till they get married here, but that's not going to fly for me. I don't want to get married until I'm 30, potentially after I'm 30. Marriage, the idea of long-term partnership is very appealing to me, but the idea of marriage and being in a relationship is not appealing to me at all. And that's coming from someone who I loved being in a relationship. It's just that I couldn't imagine living out like this specific stage of my life with the person that I was with. Not because I didn't love them, but simply because I found it difficult to be my own person and to feel a drive for things that came from myself internally when I was in that relationship. And I think a lot of people can be in really healthy relationships where they continue to grow and continue to excel even within that partnership. But I felt like I had no clue who I was, and I had no clue how to motivate myself if it wasn't like the idea of being with this person in the future. That was like my main motivator for doing a lot of things. And I think that I knew that I would be betraying myself in some way if I continued to be in that relationship and be with that person when I know that I have dreams and goals and aspirations that just at this current point in time would be very hard for me to achieve, because being in that relationship was so loving and so comfortable. And that's a wonderful thing in a relationship, stability and comfort. But I just knew I would regret it if I didn't take at least a couple years to genuinely figure things out by myself and genuinely figure out what I want from, not what I want from life. Everyone knows kind of what they want from life, but what I want to do to get myself to the places that I might want to be in the future. And I think that's incredibly sad, but I also think it's just such a normal thing that people go through to be in their early 20s. I don't know if I'm in my early 20s anymore. I'm 23. Maybe I'm in my mid-20s, which is terrifying. But it's such a normal thing to be like, this relationship is wonderful and I love this person, but I'm just not ready. And it makes me feel really guilty and really bad, and I did do some bad things, and I have to live with that. That's my fucking problem. But just the idea that I know I'm not the only person who goes through this experience of letting go of a relationship in my 20s, just to focus on me and not be so distracted by the idea of a future with someone else, because I was really distracted by that, and it affected the way that I kind of lived my life, because I was so comfortable with this person and so eager to be with this person all the time that I just kind of had no sense of what I wanted to do and what I liked doing and who I was at the time. And it's so sad. It's really sad. I think if I had put this camera in my face a week ago, I would have just been fully in tears. But recently I've just been trying to train my gut to be a little bit better and ask myself, what do I need in this current moment? Why do I feel this way, and what do I need? What can I give you? I look at myself in the mirror and say, I look myself in the eye and I say, what can I give you? What do you need to feel better in this current moment? And just this idea of being able to train my gut instinct to be a little bit better has what's driven me this past year. Just being better about listening to myself and saying, what do you need? Okay, you're going to be sad sometimes. You're going to feel fucking horrible a lot of other times. But if I can listen to myself and I can say, I need this in this current moment, and I can give myself that, I think that's really powerful and a really good indicator of how much I've grown just as an individual. And this shit is corny as fuck. I know. But it's something that I've genuinely been working on, just listening to my gut and saying, if I don't want to go, I don't want to go. If I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. Obviously, I push myself and whatnot if I have to, but just this idea of listening to my gut and knowing what I need when I need it has driven me for the past year. Now, I'm very grateful. I feel like every once in a while I think that everything's like clicking into place, and I'm finally kind of becoming a person, and then something hits me, like an experience just hits me and slaps me on the side of the face and is like, you are never going to know anything, bitch. You are a dumb little 17-year-old girl, and nothing could ever prepare you for what life throws at you. You do not know shit. And that happens to me just in a cycle, I think, in the past year or so. I'm like, okay, I think I've got it under control. I think I want to do this. I'm going to be like this. I am this person. Something happens and I'm just left feeling like, oh, I'm 17. I will never be older than 17 in my mind. I can't believe I'm 23. And I'm also just so proud of the person that I am. And that makes me emotional to say a little bit, because like my proudest accomplishment is who I am as a person. And I still fuck up. I make mistakes all the time. But I was just thinking about how much more confidence I have as an individual, and how I don't place a lot of value in the way I look anymore. I love the way that I look, and I like dressing up, and I like clothes. But because I just de-emphasized the way that I look in my personal life, and I de-emphasize the way that other people look, I'm so much less critical of myself, and I'm so much less critical of other people, and I'm so much more empathetic towards other people's flaws, because dude, I've got tons of flaws. And I went to dinner with my dad last night, and I haven't really seen him in a while, just because I've been living on campus at university for the last year. So I just don't see my parents as often, which is honestly really nice. I think that it's helped our relationship a lot, just for them to see me more as like an independent adult, as opposed to like a little kid just living in their house and bumming around. I got dinner with my dad last night, and the conversation kind of got into parenthood, and I've never really talked to my dad about the idea of being a parent. And I feel very lucky that my parents have never put any pressure on me to be in a long-term relationship. If anything, they don't want me to be in a long-term relationship, and they most certainly do not want me to have kids anytime soon, and they don't put any pressure on us to even have kids in the distant future. It's not something I grew up with my parents talking about, which I feel very grateful for, because I know that's a big point of pressure, especially in Asian families. But it's my parents genuinely, maybe they could care, but they could not care less about having a conversation with my sister and I about it. So because of that, I've never had a conversation with my parents about parenthood. I think that I've always said, yeah, I don't want to have kids. And my mom is always convinced that, yeah, everyone says that when they're young, but you'll change your mind. But she's never put pressure on actually changing my mind, which is lovely. But I was talking to my dad last night when we got dinner together, and we actually spent the whole day together, which was actually quite lovely. We got dinner together, and I started talking about parenthood. I asked him, did you read a book about parenthood before you ever became a parent? He was like, I don't think so. I don't know, maybe your mom did, but I don't think I did. And in my head, I thought that the indicator of this willingness and readiness to be a parent came from someone's ability to prepare to be a parent. But my dad was saying, no, I wanted kids, but I never really thought too hard about it. I always knew I wanted them. I always knew they'd come somewhere in the future. My parents had kids pretty late. My parents had kids maybe in their closer to their 40s than their 30s. So by the time that they were at that age, they already had friends who had kids, and they'd already been around friends who were raising kids, not just had the kids, but raising them into the toddler years, into 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds. They had already been around kids and people raising them. And my dad was just very nonchalantly said, yeah, I just noticed how other people raise their kids, and then I thought about it, and then that's how I raised you. And to him, it was super simple. He was like, you don't have to overthink things. I knew I wanted to be a parent at some point. I had the opportunity to be a parent, so I was a parent. And I think for a lot of people, it is that simple. It's, I want a kid, so I have a kid, and I will raise the kid. And not to shit on my parents, because I love them. They made mistakes. They did things that I don't know if I would have done, and I don't know if they should have done. And maybe it could have been fixed a little easy if they had just read a parenting book. I don't know. But the idea that being a parent is such a simple decision for some people blows my mind. In my head, I'd have to think, I need to continue to think about this for at least the next 10 years before I even contemplate bringing a kid into this world, adopting a kid, fostering a kid, whatever it is. I'd have to think so much harder about it, and I think that I'd have to spend a long time before I even make that decision. And it feels selfish to not want children. It feels like I'm a selfish person to say, no, I just want to live my life and do my thing and not raise a kid. It feels selfish. It feels a little wrong. But it also feels super wrong to be yeah, I guess I'll have a kid. For sure, that's the biggest decision that you could ever make in your life, or one of the biggest decisions. And I think that I only ever see parents as being parents. I see my mother as being a mother, and I see my dad as being a dad. Maybe more so my mother being a mother, because she gave up her career to raise my sister and I. But how do you have your own identity when you're a parent? I know my parents are fucking worried about me all the time, even when they're not worried about me, and even when they know I'm completely fine. How do you have your own identity as a parent? And how do you balance having goals and ambitions as a woman with trying to nurture a family and have a safe space for a young child to grow. I don't know how that works, and I have never really seen it demonstrated to me as well. So maybe that's why I'm a little lost on that. But I think enough about talking about parenthood. It's not going to happen for me anytime soon, so I really just don't need to be thinking about it too hard, to be honest. But the whole point of why I wanted to turn my camera on and make this video, even if nothing ever happens to these clips, is I'm moving out of my university dorm accommodation room, whatever, next week, a week from today. And I've been staying here for the past year. It's my last year of university, and it's the first time that I've kind of lived away from my parents for so long, and I feel so grateful for the last year, because I think, like I said, it made my relationships with my parents a lot better, just a lot more calm when we're not all up in each other's business all the fucking time. I feel so grateful to have just had this moment of peace before I start working or before I decide what's next for myself. I come home and I'm in my room by myself every night, and I don't have to worry about someone knocking on my door and asking me for shit. I come home and sometimes my flatmates are in, and I get to talk to them, and I've built beautiful friendships with the people that live in the rooms next to me, and I feel very lucky to have had just this last year to myself. And I know I'm never getting this time back, and I'm never going to be in this room again. I'm never going to be in this position in life where everything just feels like there's so many opportunities. You know, the fig tree, Sylvia Plath's fig tree, olive tree, I don't know. But life is branching out in so many different ways, and I can see it, my life taking so many different forms. But right now, I'm just standing in front of the crossroad. Like, no major decision about my future has been made yet, but I can see myself from above, like a bird's eye view, standing in front of the crossroads. And I don't know which path I'm going to take. I don't know who I'm going to be or what I'm going to do or anything like that, but I just wanted to take a moment and document who I am at this current moment. And I thought about like preparing a little sheet of paper with things to talk about, but I think for the first time that I ever do this, I think it's nice to just not have any direction on what I want to say. So this is me. I think today's the 23rd of June. It's Sunday, the 23rd of June, 2024. The sun is setting. It's 6:15 p.m. And I feel like I could cry with how happy I am to be reflective about this period of my life and be excited to move on into the next stage of my life. It's so bittersweet to say bye to this room and to say bye to who I am and who I was in this bedroom. But it has to happen. Obviously, they're going to kick me out of this apartment regardless of whether or not I like it. But this is my room. I wanted to take a second to document who I am at this specific slice of time. I always wanted to be a YouTuber because I always just wanted to be able to look back on who I was at different points in my life and see, like, a big thing for me was see what my room looked like at different ages, but I just never picked up a camera and did it. So this is me doing that at the ripe old age of 23. I think I'll take some clips of my room before the sun sets, just so I can remember what it looks like. I was going to clean it up, but I have not. So this is authentic. This is genuinely what my room has looked like for the past few weeks, months, just a little filthy. But obviously I'm moving out, so I've got to throw a bunch of shit away and take the stuff off the walls down. So I wanted to document it before everything goes and someone else moves into this room and has a beautiful experience here too. What I want to say quickly is recently I'm delusional, I will admit it. And I have just these like thoughts that my life will look a certain way, and I'm convinced that my life will look a certain way for about one day, and then I move on. Like some days I'm convinced I'm going to be a world-class diver. Like that's something that comes and haunts me every few months, that the thought that I'm going to be an Olympic springboard diver. Like what? The thought that I'm going to like play the violin really well one day, which I do want to do. I do want to be able to play the violin. But a recent thought that has been persisting, a recent delusion that just won't fucking leave me alone, is the thought that one day I'm going to be in a movie with Nick Kroll. I'm convinced. My brain has convinced itself that that is actually what's going to happen at some point in my life. And I'm not going to be an actor. I'm not going to, like, in this delusion, sorry, not in my current state, in this delusion, I'm not an actor. I'm a YouTuber because, you know, that's how my brain works. But in this delusion, I'm just like a YouTuber making these stupid fucking videos with tabby socks on my iPhone. And Nick Kroll, or a casting agent, sees a video from my YouTube channel and they're like, oh, she's perfect for the role. They cast me in this film. It's sort of like a buddy cop style film where it's like me and Nick Kroll are an unlikely friendship, unlikely partnership, and we go around living life. I do think Nick Kroll and I would be a very unlikely partnership. So in that delusion, sense of the delusion, I'm right. Like I've got that down pat. But what's crazy is that in this delusion, me and Nick Kroll are always doing press together, and we become, the world sees like what good friends we have actually become throughout the course of the film. And not just that, Nick Kroll becomes like a good friend to me in real life. Like I stay at his home in LA, and in this delusion he has a wife and 2 young kids, and I'm always at their house hanging out with their kids, hanging out with his wife. Me and his wife are really good friends too, getting invited to like dinners with him and his wife, like I'm the third wheel, and they kind of nurture me and give me a sense of purpose in the world. That's my delusion that has been plaguing me consistently for the past few months. Usually things come and go, but this Nick Kroll delusion has just stayed. And I love Nick Kroll. I think he's funny, and I think maybe his friendship with John Mulaney is the one thing that I am a bit apprehensive about. But I do note that him and John Mulaney have been friends since they were probably teenagers or in college or whatever. I think they went to college together. I'm not sure. So, you know, you can't break up a friendship that's been so established for so long. But I could talk for hours about John Mulaney, and probably the fact that the scathing remarks that I would make about John Mulaney would probably prevent me from ever being in a movie with Nick Kroll or friends with Nick Kroll or around Nick Kroll's children and wife. But I feel like I could talk for ages about John Mulaney, and I would say some not particularly nice things. But I am happy that he has recovered from his addiction. And he seems happy. But I could say, I could talk for years on that whole situation with him and his wife and his new wife. I think he's married again. I don't know. But I don't even keep well informed. But I could talk about it for hours, and the implications for what it means as women in society who want to have children but end up with partners who are uncertain, only for the partners to turn around and then have a kid like less than a year after a divorce. I don't think anyone's made like a full-length YouTube video about that situation. Someone should get on that before I co-opt that space. I co-opt the John Mulaney hate space. on the internet. Someone should take that corner of the internet away from me, because I do not think I should be sat in front of a camera ranting about a man that I, one, know nothing about, I know nothing about him. Like, I don't even keep up with him. 2, I know nothing about him because he's just a person on the internet. No, he's not a person on the internet. He's a fucking comedian. I don't even have my facts straight. Anyway, this delusion about me and Nick Kroll starring in a movie together and then becoming best friends has been plaguing me for a long time, and I can't start making videos talking about John Mulaney. I can't be talking about John Mulaney in this way if I actually ever want it to happen. So I'm going to shut the fuck up right now. The sun is setting. I don't know how that's affecting the camera, but this is a video camera. So I had it with the screen. You can like rotate the screen so that you can see yourself while you're recording. And I had it like that just now for about 5 minutes. And all I could do was look at myself, and I couldn't even focus on speaking and being an actual coherent human being. So I turned the screen back around, and it is a lot more comfortable just not being able to see myself look like a crazy person screaming about John Mulaney. And I think I have been talking for a very, very long time, maybe half an hour. That's not very long, but a decently long time. I'm going to take some videos of my room because I want to look back on this video and see who I was at this specific point in time and see what my room looked like at this point in time, before I have to fucking take all this shit down. Look at how nice my wall is. This was like one of the first things I did before moving in, before I even had like all my clothes here or all my toiletries here. All the pictures and the posters went up on the wall first, and I love it. I think my wall is so cute. I've got pictures of my friends, like posters I've collected. The Yoshitomo Nara. I went to the Yoshitomo Nara exhibition when I was in Vienna, Austria. I was only in Vienna for one night, but thankfully it coincided with the Yoshitomo Nara exhibition, because now I have the poster from it. I have these cute little postcard prints that I will never give away. I do not care how much I love you. These are staying mine. This poster is staying mine forever. I even have a Yoshitomo Nara t-shirt that I fucking stained, so I don't wear it anymore because I don't want to stain it further. I washed it with a bunch of clothes that could run. Like, I had never washed whatever. I put it in the wash and it got stained pink, which is fine. It could be worse. It could be stained black. But I am sad that I kind of ruined the t-shirt, so I don't wear it as often anymore because I just want to keep it pristine. And that t-shirt is the love of my life, my Yoshitomo Nara t-shirt. I will end up wearing it eventually, one day. But this is me. This is my room. This is my bed. These are my stuffed toys. They're not all mine. They do belong. Some of them do belong to someone else, but for now they are mine. This is December. My grandma gave him/her to me. She's gender fluid. Some day he's a he, some day he's a she. Some days, never really a they them though. December's never really a they them. It's always more a he or she. And I love her, and she reminds me of my grandma. She's been with me through fucking everything. She's so fucking filthy. Sorry, you're not filthy, but she's dirty. Like, I sleep with her all the time, and my sister has a matching one called October because she was born in October and I was born in December, obviously. And my sister never sleeps with October and never brings October anywhere because she hates him. But October recently came out of storage, and October's face is like, his nose is like pulled down like all the way till here. And I was like, why does October look like a white man? And I'm realizing that December didn't always look like a little like flat-faced motherfucker. It's because I sleep on him all the time that his face has gotten flat and he's dirty and all his beads are like, he's lost his vigor. Fertility, that's the word I was looking for. I don't know if that's the right word, but he's lost some of his fertility, some of his manhood, some of his liveliness. So I do want to get him restuffed and like take him to like a stuffed toy vet. Is that what they're called, where they take care of the stuffed toy for you and like make him look good as new? And I will do that eventually. because I love December and she's my baby, and I'm gonna get a tattoo of her one day. But she's with me everywhere. I love her so much. She's my day one. I will not introduce the other ones today, but maybe another time. What am I gonna do with the rest of my day? I'm gonna go eat mala. I haven't had mala in ages, and I had it earlier this week, and it was so fucking good. And it made me sad that I haven't eaten more of it, but it does cost a genuine bomb every time I buy it. Also, I used to go to the mala store downstairs. It's really close by, and I would pick my order, and it would genuinely always be $20, and it would come in a tub, like not even the normal Tupperware that they send you home with when you take things away, like a big ass like container. And the guy at the store would always put 2 sets of cutlery in it, and I know, and it would just it didn't feel good. I know the amount of food I was eating was probably for 2-3 people, even maybe, but he would always put 2 sets of cutlery in, and I'd be like, fuck, man, like this is just for me, like I'm eating this shit, bitch. But yes, the other day when I got mala earlier this week, he only put in 1 set of cutlery, and I was reasonable. I only got $10 worth of food, which, I mean, I'm just skinny. I'm just so skinny and fragile, which is why I only got $10 worth of mala when I usually get $20 worth. But today I think I'll get whatever the fuck I want. I don't care. I'm in a good mood, and it's been a while since I've been in a good mood, good happy little mood. So I'm going to capitalize on that and go get some mala. I wanted to go to the pool, but I am still on my period, and the pool closes like in half an hour anyway, so maybe another day I will go to the pool. Challenges. I saw Challengers recently. Really good film. I really, really enjoyed it. I also saw How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. Wasn't as sad as I thought. Maybe I'm just not as sad as I used to be, because I shed a few tears. Just not as many as I thought I would. But Challengers was a phenomenal movie. I went to see it in cinema by myself, and it was phenomenal. I loved it so much. I had such a great time. I ate a hot dog in the cinema. Ugh, that was a good time. Anyway, I'm gonna take some video of my room. Some videos of my room before the sun sets and it's dark. And then I'm gonna go eat. And maybe I'll smoke a cigarette. And maybe I'll go get myself a sweet little drink, because I deserve it for fucking finally picking this camera up and making a video. So that's the plan for the rest of the day. And I'm excited. I'm excited to enjoy this space for the last time. So hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, tell your mom she's a hoe. I feel like it's so obvious that I fall asleep listening to Emergency Intercom just from my demeanor and the way I am and the way I talk and my references and things like that. But enjoy these clips of my bedroom, future Joe Yee. Bye.